Hello, I'm Hope. I'm a clinical psychologist in Hampshire CAMHS. We all experience stress. Sometimes this can be motivating and can help us get things done, but often it can be challenging and can lead us to feel overwhelmed. Most of us will experience a healthy amount of stress in our lives, but what happens when we are unable to cope? Stress is something parents will inevitably deal with, and there are many different factors that will influence the amount of stress a parent faces, and whether this results in them feeling overwhelmed. A situation one parent may perceive as unimportant, another may view as very impactful, meaning stress levels will vary from person to person. Having a child with mental health difficulties can be a significant source of stress, in addition to the many day-to-day stresses that a parent might experience. Many parents describe how upsetting and stressful it can be to see their child struggling with their mental health, and feel powerless to know how to help. Having a child with mental health difficulties can also increase stress due to having to juggle mental health appointments whilst managing family life, school and work commitments, or parents taking significant time to advocate for their child's needs for support. There are a variety of ways that you might identify a parent who is struggling with stress, such as sleeping difficulties, changes in appetite, low self-esteem and blaming themselves when things go wrong, difficulties regulating emotions, becoming angry or frustrated easily. Feeling stressed will also be experienced physically and may differ from person to person. Some might feel tension in their shoulders, their neck, or experience headaches. Others will experience feeling nauseous, sweaty, or struggling to breathe. Prolonged stress can be emotionally and physically exhausting and impact on an individual's ability to function day to day or think clearly. The stress cup of tea analogy, outlined in the manual, can be a really helpful way to think about stress. As stress levels increase, this fills our stress cup and can lead to feelings of overwhelmed, irritability, anxiety and exhaustion. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the body's stress response and is activated when we perceive danger. Coping strategies can be really useful to bring these stress levels down by specifically helping us to soothe the sympathetic nervous system. It may be helpful to think about what coping strategies you use and whether these are sustainable and help you in the long term, as opposed to seeking a short-term solution that may not help in the long term. Unhelpful coping strategies that help in the short term but not in the long term could consist of drugs and alcohol, a lack of sleep to allow for more time to do things, avoidance and procrastination, or losing your temper. More helpful coping strategies include relaxation, breathing techniques, grounding techniques that focus on your 5 senses, exercise, as well as prioritising basic needs such as eating, sleeping and medication if needed. Practicing acceptance and gratitude may also be beneficial, and problem solving to see what works for you as a parent. Other things that can be helpful include maintaining routines, encouraging connection with others, inside and outside of the family, seeking help, taking breaks, and practicing simple relaxation techniques. There are more ways of identifying stress and what you can do to support yourself outlined in our manual. You may want to think about what problems you're trying to cope with at the moment, what strategies you have tried, what has happened, and did they have a helpful and unhelpful consequence for you and for others. This will be covered in more detail under problem solving in the Parent and Carer Manual. As we end this video, I want to introduce you to a simple, helpful coping technique that can be used to quickly reduce stress. Breathing is a quick and effective way of calming the sympathetic nervous system and our natural stress response. Many of us can find that we spend a lot of the time holding our breath throughout the day without even realising. This can lead to increased body tension, such as stiffness in our shoulders and our chest, which in turn, many of us hold more tension in our body and feel more tense. Tense your body for a moment whilst holding your breath. Notice how it feels. Uncomfortable, right? You can quickly see how holding that tension for a long period of time could increase your feelings of stress. This calming breathing technique for stress takes just a few minutes and can be done anywhere. It's a quick way of checking in with how you're feeling and encouraging your body to more naturally focus on your breath. You will get most benefit if you're doing it regularly as part of your daily routine. You can do it standing up, sitting in a chair that supports your back, or lying on a bed or yoga mat on the floor. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. If you can, loosen any clothes that restrict your breathing. If you're lying down, place your arms a little bit away from your sides, with the palms up. Let your legs be straight, or bend your knees so your feet are flat on the floor. If you're sitting, place your arms on the chair arms. If you're sitting or standing, place both feet flat on the ground. Whatever position you're in, place your feet roughly hip-width apart. Let your breath flow as deep down into your belly as is comfortable, without forcing it. Try breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in gently and regularly. Some people find it helpful to count steadily from 1 to 5. You may not be able to reach 5 at first. Let it flow out gently, counting from 1 to 5 again. If you find this helpful, keep doing it for at least 5 minutes. Remember, coping strategies work differently for everyone. It can take trial and error and practice to work out what strategies work best for you. In the manual, you'll find links to other coping strategies you can try, such as progressive muscle relaxation, 5-4-3-2-1, and mindfulness. Take some time to notice what increases your stress cup and see whether any of the strategies help to bring down your stress levels.